person on a roof. And obviously, given everything that's just happened in America, you know, they weren't taking any chances. And someone said to me later, you know, it was a big call for the Jersey police to make, but they 100% did the right thing. And what the palace then said is they made a point of bringing everyone who'd been due to meet to the hotel to meet them, because obviously otherwise they'd missed out on their chance. I mean, it was momentaneous. They picked up the programme within a couple of minutes, but it was quite a stark reminder of actually the threats that these people face day in, day out, that we kind of take for granted.
Catherine received another rapturous reception when she returned to her beloved Wimbledon tennis championships. Richard Eden explains.
For Catherine, it was a very moving moment, actually. There was a standing ovation for her. She came with Princess Charlotte and her sister Pippa. And you could tell, like, genuinely, I think, wasn't the only one who probably spotted a tear rolling down Catherine's cheek as she appreciated this gesture from everyone there. So it was a big moment for everyone and very touching to watch.
And can we just say, shallow moment for me, I loved her dress. I loved
so
that purple
Wimbledon
dress.
purple. It
Absolutely
was just the
beautiful.
colour of Wimbledon.
And actually, she'd got it slightly adapted, because the original one was V-neck, but she'd had it done in this kind of, you know, straight up there, and I thought it kind of suited her really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, Rebecca, about the planning of this. What would have been the contingencies if it was it quite touch and go, do you think, up until the last minute?
Well, as I think we've talked about it on the programme a little bit, and I kind of hinted as strongly as I could that I was pretty sure that she was going to go, which was the kind of general sense of the direction of travel that I was getting. But of course, you know, as Kensington Palace was always stressing, when you're going through chemotherapy treatment, which she is, you know, sometimes you're just not going to know how you feel till you wake up on the day. So they could, you know, never say never. But obviously they had got contingency plans for the Duchess of Gloucester, who's long been associated with Wimbledon and is a big fan. But of course, everyone really wanted to see Catherine. And like Richard said, I was actually very moved to see that standing ovation for her, because it was so genuine and so heartfelt. And people just did it instantaneously. And I think they just wanted to show a little bit of solidarity with her as a woman in the public eye and what she's going through.
I think one of the only positive sides of her health crisis has just been, perhaps it's been a chance for her to appreciate how loved she is, actually. Yeah. But often you don't get that, do you, in sort of daily life, but I think that probably really brought it home to her.
It's amazing. What do you think now, Rebecca? Do you think she'll probably take the rest of summer now, take more time to just genuinely recover? No speculation about what she will and won't turn up to now.
Wait for it.
No, that's it now, for both of them, actually. They're both on summer holidays with their children. I think much needed, because there has been, you know, such difficult times for them this year. I think, again, what was lovely is her taking Princess Charlotte with her and seeing that lovely bond between her and her daughter, because this has been a huge strain on the children as well this year. You know, as she said herself in that first statement about the whole issue, it was almost tougher to find a way to tell their children that Mummy was going through this difficult period as it was about getting the news herself. So how lovely that, you know, we could just see them there being so happy and knowing, hopefully, as a family, they're coming through the other end of this.
I like Charlotte's sunglasses, by the way. They were very chic.
Yeah, they were Ray-Bans. Ray-Ban. They were very cool, actually. I think there was a bit of a rum on them as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm not
She
surprised.
is a style star in the making,
100%,
for sure.
Yeah.
It seemed that the reception to Prince Harry being given the Pat Tillman Award wasn't so universally well received. Here, Richard Eden and Charlotte Griffiths explain.
This was really interesting. This was when he stood up to collect the award. They announced it. He stood up. Lots of others rose to their feet, including Meghan. She was clapping away. But one person who didn't stand up at all and didn't appear to be clapping either was the tennis legend Venus Williams.
What, the only one?
She stayed in her seat. She was surrounded by others, yes, who did get up, and she didn't appear to be clapping either. So it's very mysterious. I mean, we should make clear, so she was there because her sister Serena was presenting the award, so presumably she attended to support her sister. And it's Serena, generally, who's been thought to be a close friend of Meghan. So it does make you wonder what's going on there, and perhaps Venus shared the thoughts of lots of others who thought it wasn't appropriate that Prince Harry received this award.
Has she made any comment about it?
No. I'm sure she wouldn't want to
Wow.
embarrass her sister.
Goodness me. Well, Charlotte, given the huge amount of, and it seems, largely negative publicity about this award, Harry and Meghan, they have to be wondering whether or not these things are worth it, surely.
No, I think Harry is definitely wondering that because he hated every minute of getting on that stage.
How do you know that?
Because I've watched the video. He's a face of thunder, he's exhaling, he looks really miserable, and at one point he pulls away from Meghan, who's got his arm, and he just sort of like snatches his arm away, and he just seemed tense and like he wasn't enjoying it. And not for the first time has he looked a little bit apprehensive before going on stage, and I just wonder whether he really enjoys these things anymore. And of course there's the controversy. I mean, it's a PR disaster to have, you know, Pat Tillman's mum saying it's not a good idea for him to receive the award, and potentially to have Venus Williams not clapping right next to him. I just don't think they're worth it at all for them anymore.
And was it as we predicted that he really sort of like laboured that it was an award for Invictus?
Yeah, he definitely made that point, and he really wants to say he was accepting it on behalf of an amazing cause, which Invictus is, and he had people from Invictus around him, which is probably very wise. But then, even then, people said, oh, you only brought people from Invictus on to sort of deflect from yourself. So he can't really win.
Well, that's a bit tiresome.
Yeah, and whether you think that's very unfair or not, the point is, these aren't PR wins for the Sussexes. They're, you know, they just can't win. And that must be incredibly frustrating for them, and they probably feel very hard done by. But the PR strategy going forward has got to be knock these things on the head.
And remember, what they could have done is they could have given the award to the Invictus Foundation, and then Harry could have let someone else from the organisation collect the award, couldn't he? So, you know, rather than
Possibly
say,
not as much publicity in that.
No, but rather than say, oh, it's not all about me, he could have shown that by letting someone else collect it.
Some of the most joyful royal engagements with the public are at the royal garden parties. Here are some of our favourite images of those over the years. So good you could rewind and watch that all again. A reminder to like and subscribe to the Daily Mail Royals YouTube channel. It really helps us. And check out our new show, Reading the Royals. We look forward to seeing you again on Palace Confidential next week. Bye for now.